Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Shay's Equilibrium. My name is Natasha and the focus of my channel is about maintaining a balance in our lives. If you like this content, please go ahead, press on that like button below, make sure you subscribe and give a comment as to anything that you would hear me say today. Today we're going to be following up with our previous topic, feeling stuck, make a change. This is part 2. So just to go back, if you guys want to know what we spoke about in part 1, I will link it above so that you can go ahead. Not sure which side it's going to be on, but go ahead and click on that link that is going to talk to you more about part 1. I'm just going to go over what the first 2 steps were. First step number 1 was a present discomfort. Step number 2 was emotional security. And so now we're heading on into step number 3. So I hope you guys are ready. We are on the journey, right? The change journey where we're going to be making a change in our lives. So step number 3, I'm just going to jump right into it because I don't like to have you guys hold up with me babbling and babbling, going on. So we're just going to go on straight ahead, jumping on in. Remember, I am not an expert. I'm just someone out here to encourage you to make the change. I'm going through that phase in my life myself where I am trying to make a change. And these are some of the things that are helping me to make the change. So I thought that I can also impart it to you so that you can go ahead and make that balance in your life. So please take whatever I say as just some kind of advice. You don't have to take it. Take what works for you. Leave the rest. Once again, this is information that came out of the University of Albany. This is something that they have in regards to the elements of change. And so I am giving you some of those things that helped me in regards to my step. So going right into it, step number 3, and I'm using my notes here. It is internalization of responsibility, right? Responsibility. I got to get in a little bit closer because that's where I got stuck, right? I was in that stuck stage because it took something from me in order to make a change. It's all good and dandy to say, okay, I'm feeling uncomfortable, right? And so I need to make a change. So I'm going to make a change. I make up in my mind to make the change. It's all good to say, well, you know what? It's not going to cost me nothing. Or what do I got to lose, right? Or what's the worst thing that can happen? I done past that stage. But now it's like, I have some responsibility in this. This is going to take something out of me, right? And that's where I was stuck. It's going to cost me something. Whenever we're about to do something in life, it's going to cost us something. Now, for some people, it may cost you money. It may cost you some time. It may cost you some friends, relationships, right? It may cost you your pride. It may cost you your emotional stability. It may cost you giving up some of your safety nets that you have there, right? It may cost you willing to fail. And that was where I was stuck. Actually internalizing the responsibility to make things happen. I now have to put some work into it. It was going to take me time to research certain topics that I wanted to bring to you guys. It was going to take me planning. It was going to take me putting things together so that I can give a good presentation. And so that's where I was stuck. That was the hard part for me, was actually taking responsibility, looking at the consequences, right? Because in everything that we do, there are consequences for our actions. Am I okay with coming on here and allowing my life to be open to others, allowing people to see parts of my home, to see parts of me, right? Am I okay with giving up some of my time that I would have been using for leisure and for other things? This is where we now begin to take ownership it now becomes something internal that we have to look at ourselves and begin to get ourselves together and say, in order to make this step, like a person that's getting ready to build a house, I'm going to consider the cost. What does it take to get that bathroom to the level that I need it to get so that my house can value more? Get my kitchen together so that my house in value can go up. What do I need to do to myself so that my value, and I mean, I'm always worth something regardless of what I do. It's not what we do that makes us valuable, right? But if we're sitting around and not doing anything with our lives and refusing to get out of that stuck state, it doesn't help our self-esteem. So in order to build our self-esteem, we have to look at ourselves and take ownership of whatever it is that we need to do to make that change. Do I need to go to counseling? Do I need to be more financially responsible? Do I need to go back to school? What is it that I need to do to get this thing done? Am I willing to pay the cost that it's going to cost me to get it done? And I sat back when I was planning to do YouTube and I said, it took me months, took me a while to get this thing started, because I had to say, am I willing to put in the time? Am I willing to respond to people if they make a comment? Am I going to follow up? I tend to be a procrastinator. Am I going to procrastinate with certain things? What am I going to put in place to meet those weaknesses that I have already addressed, that I already know that I have, those consequences that is going to cost me? I'm going to have to begin to deal with the me issues, the me-ism, right? So we're going to have to now take a microscope, begin to look at ourselves. What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? What are some of the threats that's going to come up against me when I'm going to begin to make this change? How am I going to address it? What's the worst thing that can happen? What can I do to combat that worst thing that's going to happen? It's not just about jumping up and deciding that you're going to do things and fine and dandy, I'm going to make this change. But it's also about foreseeing some of the threats and making sure that you put something in place. Now, we can't foresee everything that's going to happen in our lives, and that's understandable. But in every situation, we know there are some things that's up in our face. It's going to take me some time. Am I willing to give the time? It's going to cost me some money. Do I have extra money? I'm going to a new job. Did I put aside some money so that I can pay my rent? So these are just some things that you have to consider the consequences and then plan for them. Whatever are those things that are going to come and it's going to present a challenge, it's going to present an obstacle, like those rats in Who Moved My Cheese, that book, guys, go ahead and get it. I'm going to link it. Who had to go through the maze. They came up on some blockage, right? But which mice was able to overcome? And that's what we have to realize, that in life, there's always going to be those changes, but we can overcome them. We are overcomers, right? We are overcomers. I want you to understand that those who are in situations, we are overcomers. We are going to balance out our lives. We're not going to stay stuck. We're going to become that balanced person that we need to be. We're not going to be afraid of change, but we're going to count the cost that is going to take us to get to the change. So when we get to change, we can be the success, we can be the bomb, right? Who we have been called to be. So guys, begin to internalize, begin to take responsibility. Do not put responsibility on other people and expect other people to do things for you. Get up off your butt and do things for yourself. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I'm talking to me too. I'm not just I'm talking to me, right? Step number 4.